Should we go to 0 seconds?
Yeah, let's just go to 0 seconds.
Okay. Then we're gonna both press play at the same time, and then we're gonna watch In Your House number 1.
Yeah. Do we have an intro for this show?
I guess this is the intro.
Cool.
Oh, fuck.
I like that. The show also has no name, but we'll figure one out eventually, I'm sure.
Right. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to our new show. Me and Corey are gonna do commentary over In Your House pay-per-view. So if you want to play along, I'll put a timestamp in on the YouTube video. But basically, you press play whenever we press play, and then you'll hear our commentary over the. Anyway.
Do you know what riff tracks are?
Or what is?
Riff tracks.
No.
So I'll follow up with another question. Do you know what Mystery Science Theater 3000 is?
Yes.
Okay. So some of the guys that were in Mystery Science Theater 3000 after the show ended went on to form a company called Riff Tracks. And so one of the problems with Mystery Science Theater 3000 is they always had to watch the concept was to watch really bad movies because that's what they could afford to purchase so they could show the movie. With Riff Tracks, they record an audio file and you pay for the audio file and you sync it up with the movie. Yes. And that way it opened them up to like any movie they wanted because they're not actually showing the movie or playing the audio. So every now and then they have a little robot come on and it would like repeat a line of dialogue along with the movie. That way you knew if you were still in sync with what they were talking about.
Wow, that's pretty clever.
Yeah. So that's when you pitch this idea to me, I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like wrestling riff tracks.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, basically it's just us taking the original audio and putting our audio over the top. So if other people want to listen along with our commentary, they can do so. If they have the network. So we're going to do In Your House number 1. Neither of us have seen it.
Well, and for me, I'm just unfamiliar. I grew up a WCW kid. So anything before like 1999 WWF, I have no real attachment or memory to.
So you missed Mankind's entire fucking,
Well, so when I started watching, Mankind was wearing the dress shirt and the tie and had the hardcore belt.
Yes. Oh, great time to be alive, wasn't it? Man.
Yeah.
Mankind's my favorite wrestler. Mick Foley is my favorite wrestler of all time. And I started watching wrestling for real, like pretty much bang on the dot when he retired the first time. Like I started watching in the year 2000, like right after WrestleMania 2000, when Mick Foley had retired. So they had a lot of catching up to do once they got the network. It was pretty much just like every Mick Foley match that I could possibly watch.
Oh yeah, and honestly, like I said, it's for me that I'm just unfamiliar with, but I like a lot of these guys who went on to be in WCW. Like I've not seen a lot of Diesel, but I've seen a lot of Kevin Nash. Yes. I've not seen a lot of Razor Ramon, but I've seen a lot of Scott Hall. Yeah. And I've not seen a lot of like country music Jeff Jarrett, but I've seen The Chosen One and King of the Mountain Jeff Jarrett.
Well, let's try to not watch any Jeff Jarretts, please.
See, Ben, that's where we're gonna differ because I love Jeff Jarrett.
I really dislike Jeff Jarrett.
Man, I love Jeff Jarrett. He's he's in my top 15, I think.
Top 15? What an arbitrary number. Why?
Well, because I didn't feel comfortable saying top 10 because I'm like, I'm sure I like other people more.
Right, exactly.
But I know he's not top 20. Yeah, he's in the top 20, but he's definitely in the top 15. So
I gotta say, you and me are usually pretty good when it comes to like being on the same wavelength when it comes to wrestling. We
well, where we differ is Jinder Mahal and Jeff Jarrett.
Right, and I mean, if I had to choose, I'd say Jeff Jarrett's better than Jinder Mahal.
Yes, I would agree with that.
But I did not like that pause at all.
I had to think about it. Jinder has more size, and I think Jinder has more size and a better look than Jeff Jarrett.
Right, but he's not a good
I think that's super important. And I was watching this independent wrestling show yesterday on IWTV, which is another streaming service that's like super cheap. And in the match, there was like a scramble match, and it was like 6 dudes. but 5 of them were wearing like black long tights, black kick pads. They all had the same haircut. They all had like a dozen tattoos, and they all wrestled in like a cut up band t-shirt. And it was just like there's like one of the 5 dudes was wearing like silver and gold lame trunks. And I was just the whole time I'm like I told, my wife Lori, I said if I was running this promotion, I just sent all those guys one group text message, and I said, okay, whoever responds to this first gets to wear all black. Everyone else, you have to wear something else.
Right. Like, that's the shit you always wonder that people don't notice. Like, everybody looking the same, or like everybody doing the same moves. I'm like, this should be stuff that the producers and the people who run the company should be telling the wrestlers, right?
Yeah. And I mean, another big thing for me has been that a lot of guys just don't look, they don't stand out. Like in the WB is full of guys with long, dark, typically wet hair and beards.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins, Elias, Drew McIntyre. It's 3 of them that have the exact same look for the most part. Their gear is different, but their physical appearance is not. And I think this period of time kind of encapsulates. And I mean, another thing is like black trunks and stuff was usually like reserved for heels.
For the bad guy, yeah.
Yeah. The exception to those were like, Ric Flair always wore really vibrant, bright colors.
Yes.
But like I was thinking of like like Ron Simmons when he won the WCW World Title, he was wearing like light blue tights and white boots.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, his colors were like the Seminole, Florida State Seminole colors. That was like the college he played football at. So like little small things like that, and I just get weirded out. Like everybody in the WWE wears black, and no one really stands out. And I heard that they all had to their how everybody for a while was like, oh, my wrestling gear looks like Iron Man, my wrestling gear looks like the Black Panther, it looks like Captain America, and so forth. I heard that they put a hard stop on that. So wrestlers aren't allowed to have their gear look like superheroes anymore.
Well, that's fair, because it would get confusing.
Yeah.
When you see the real Iron Man and then Rey Mysterio dressed like Iron Man, you're like, which one's the real Iron Man? I can't.
Yeah, which one's Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, and then like you send Rey Mysterio off to fight Ultron, you're like, oh, he's woefully unprepared. He doesn't have guns in his arms. This is a terrible mistake.
But now I have this mental image of Rey Mysterio setting Thanos up for the 619.
Right, like
Thanos is just like, we will do combat, but we will do it in I just said a 6-sided ring. Wow. Like Impact. We're gonna go to Impact. We're gonna go to the Impact Zone. Don West and Mike Tenay are gonna call it.
I like the idea of like Thanos like selling the 619 because he's such a big dude, and God bless Rey Mysterio, but he's such a little dude. Like Thanos like really selling the 619. You're like, oh my God, Thanos has died, and you're like, come on, man, that guy's with the fucking Power Glove. He can do whatever he wants.
Thanos is a real professional.
Right. Well, is he though? Because if he was a professional, he would have said, dude, I can't go out and sell for this guy because it's gonna make me look bad. It's gonna make me look like an idiot if I fucking. They need to work out a proper match. Anyway, should we fucking?
We should probably get started.
is this the intro?
All right, so yeah, this is the intro.
Good God.
Okay, we could probably cut out all the stuff talking about wrestling gear and whatnot.
You probably won't.
So we probably won't. Okay, that's fair. So I guess on the count of 3, we're gonna hit the play button.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
I'm so excited.
I have a WWF logo that's rotating slightly.
Look how good that looks. That's all like graphic and stuff. What a great show.
In your house, and there's a suburban house with a garage. That's a big garage.
Look at that wonderful house. There's your man. There's big old Diesel right there.
Yeah, there's Kevin Nash, and there's Psycho Sid. Amazing.
You have what a sidewalk slam. That guy's got all the moves. Oh, look at that. That's a great shot of Sid, though, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't know shit, cry, baby.
Nash is saying, I'm gonna fuck you up, son. And
Sid's doing that thing where he like grins, but it looks like very painful. Hey, it's Yokozuna. That man totally Japanese. That man completely Japanese.
Yokozuna, he's the most Japanese man that I've ever seen.
Oh, Owen.
Japanese city of Samoa. It's very authentic.
There's Razor.
He's a good guy.
There's the man. There's the man.
It's your boy.
It's my boy.
This is all you ever wanted. Now we're gonna get Scott Hall versus Jeff Jarrett. Oh my goodness, you're gonna have a great time. Was that the Road Dogg?
That is the Road Dogg.
Brody.
There's Atom Bomb with his little like mushroom cloud pyro. It's yeah, it's Babel. I almost said like, oh my god, it's Viscera.
It's Viscera.
I mean, it is. Ooh, so he's spitting so much in that promo. And ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, the most boring wrestler in the world, Bret Hart.
Bret Hart, really?
I'm not a Bret Hart fan, but he's Hakushi.
I like Bret Hart. I can see why.
Can I just say?
Oh my God, Jerry!
And there's a pedophile.
Who is?
Jerry Lawler.
Well, listen. If we were to eliminate every person in America who was a pedophile, boy, the landscape would be a lot different, wouldn't it?
Congress would be entirely different.
Right. You wouldn't have a government. You wouldn't have I don't know, other stuff. Anyway, they're going
this intro. You could that house is empty. They went to a vacant house. I just noticed that when they opened up the door, like there's no furniture.
You see, when you see the outside of the house, you're like, nobody lives in that house. 100% nobody lives in that house.
Where do you think that house is? I was getting like real Florida vibes from it, and I don't know why.
I feel like they just assembled that house and then filmed it for 20 minutes and then knocked it down again.
It's a prop house?
Yeah, I don't think it's a real house at all.
Uh-oh. Do Michael P.S. Hayes.
Doc Hendricks?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The man from Bad Street USA himself.
He's looking pretty fucking dapper, I gotta say.
I retired from wrestling and I cut my hair.
And I've got a mustache. And let me tell you this, buddy. I have got a lot of gambling debts in my pocket. And Vince is like, yeah, it sounds like you really do. That's right, me, baby. Spend it all on Vegas.
I dress like a 1970s pimp. Duke.
I'm not very fond of black people. What do you think of that, Vince? And Vince is like, no. That look Vince gave is like, I don't approve of that whatsoever.
So I'm going to point here. So Kushi's coming out in his weird valet with the white face paint. I don't really know what this is about. I'm sure there's like some bullshit like, Japanese mysticism. Because, I like his messenger bag, though.
I love his fucking... Well, I love the whole outfit. I love the hat, but this entire, like, the staff and everything.
The rings, on the staff.
It's lovely. The Japanese writing down the back, that's kind of like very understated, because like there's a lot of white but a little bit of Japanese writing. I like that.
Well, because he compensated for all of the... I mean, he just he had a standing moonsault off a little stage.
That was good.
It's funny to me that Hakushi, a legitimate man from Japan, is also on the same card as Yokozuna.
Right. Who's also
a legitimate Japanese man, Yokozuna.
Uh-huh.
That's why he can only say bonsai. Everyone knows that the Japanese language is much more sophisticated, where you can say more with one word than you can with a sentence.
That is true, actually. But this is the WWE we're talking about here.
Is he wearing a do-rag?
What's that thing in the camera? Oh, it's this. Man, they need to work on their camera work, I think.
I wish Lori was awake, because if she was here, she would be able to tell me if that's actually anything written on his face.
Does she know, like, all Japanese? The thing about Japanese is, like, as you already know, there's three different, like...
there's three different languages.
Yeah. That was all in kanji, and I don't know how to read kanji, so...
So, yeah, Lori, she studied it on and off for, like, 7-8 years. Yeah. So, like, she can read it, and she can, like, pick up words and say sentences. When she met Kota Ibushi at a autograph signing, and she had written him a card, and she wrote him like a card, and she did that also for Hiromu Takahashi when she met him, and it was really kind of funny because they then like communicated to her, like Kota Ibushi in particular, like started talking Japanese to her, and like she was really nervous meeting him, so she kind of panicked a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. they were really very polite. She told me that's like a cultural thing that, if you're an English speaker and you attempt to speak to them in Japanese, they're very appreciative.
Did she ask him if he knew Yokozuna?
You know what though? We should bring that up. Hey, do you guys like live in the same neighborhood?
Yeah, like
And then he'll be like, well, no, Yokozuna died like 10 years ago.
Yeah, we get that, but I'm like, did you used to know him? Like,
oh shit, it's probably like closer to 20 years, wouldn't it be?
Oh shit, dude.
I think it was when I started watching WWF, they put up one of those in memory of Yokozuna.
Oh
Maybe like even in death, they wouldn't acknowledge that he was Samoan. Even in death, kayfabe's real, brother.
Exactly, you gotta keep
brother.
You can't go dropping it even when you're dead.
No.
Pro, he was a pro.
So we got Hakushi and Bret Hart, which I'm sure is going to be very good. I'm not a Bret Hart fan, and I think it has to, once again, my context for WWF is not very great. What I have is WCW, and when he was in WCW, he had long given up trying.
Oh god, yeah. In WCW,
he didn't give a shit.
Exactly.
He was still pouting about Montreal.
And for good reason. Like, they fucking screwed him out of that shit. I understand that. But then also,
well, he was also unprofessional. They were like, hey, your contract is up. And he's like, oh, I don't want to drop the belt in Canada. It's like, also, you're still an employee.
Right. But also, Shawn Michaels had also been being very unprofessional for, months and years. So, like, it was a whole weird situation where nobody was acting smart.
Nobody came off great. Yeah, no one came off great on that one.
I gotta say, like, when I was younger, I always they're always like, who do you think's better, Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels? And I'm like, I always think that I think Shawn Michaels, time for find, is the best wrestler of all time. But I've grown to like have a lot more appreciation for Bret Hart. I used to think he was really boring, but now I kind of like get it. I've seen more Bret Hart matches now, and I've kind of like, you can appreciate like how good he is. He's very good. If he's not, he might not be like super fast paced all the time, but he's a very, very good for a wrestler. I don't think anybody can. Or
I want to point
like that,
I want to point out just how smooth Hakushi's moving in the ring.
Yeah.
He unfortunately has that problem that a lot of Japanese wrestlers have had historically in America, and it's just that, because he doesn't speak English, we don't really know what we're going to do with him. It's like the Shinsuke Nakamura problem.
Yes. Which is a problem I wish they would rectify, because I love me some Shinsuke.
Yeah, I mean, we all know his knees aren't the best. Yeah. He's on the tail end of his career, but you could still do something a little better. I think he's won like every minor title that you can at this point, though. He's a former tag champ, former Intercontinental, former US. He was NXT champ.
He won the Royal Rumble.
Won the Royal Rumble.
And he's done pretty well for himself, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not like a main event guy, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. That was a big shoulder tackle that was real high up there.
What was weird was he did the shoulder tackle, right? And then he was just kind of like, the hang time he got from dropping down, so he felt like he was hanging there forever before he hit the ground. Very strange. Here we go. We get some.
I get an arm breaker there.
Look at this. This is old school. This is ridiculous. Why doesn't he hit him with 17 spinning pile drivers and then do a suicide dive outside and hit him with a chair? Hit him with two chairs. Hit him with
that the referee sees, and then hey, by the way, referee Tim White here. Tim White, famous for the Tim White suicide angles. He committed suicide over and over again after that really weird Hell in a Cell like build. Was it like Randy Orton versus Undertaker? And he was like, they do that thing with Hell in a Cell with like, this match will change your life. And like it was implied he was still so traumatized by that he committed suicide after the segment, and then they had to walk back from it and like, no, it's a comedy thing. Here's a weekly segment where Tim White tries to kill himself.
Here's the thing, though, and maybe this is just, it says an awful lot about my morbid sense of humor. I did think it was funny.
Oh no, it was great, and it was something you can obviously he was super into. So
yeah, it was just silliness, but like, not like I was going to say not offensive silliness, and then I guess it depends on, like, do you think killing yourself as a joke is offensive, But I feel like I'm digging myself into a real hole with this one.
By the way, this is a brave move to put Doc Hendricks on commentary on this one. Michael P.S. Hayes, historically, not the best with people who are not white.
Exactly.
There's a very famous, like, it was like in the late 80s, where there was like a match with, like, I think he and a bunch of other guys were feuding with the Great Muta, and it was like in NWA, and he straight up just called Muta a racial slur. But it was like, it's fine because we use that term all the time in World War II. It's like, I don't think so. It's the 80s.
I mean, they said an awful lot of things in World War II that you probably shouldn't go repeating. World War II, like, if that's your fucking standard of, like, what is permissible, like what they
Yeah,
used
something
to,
that at that point was closer to 50 years ago.
yeah, I'm like, come on, man. They used to use mustard gas as well. Why is the King there watching? Oh, King and Bret Hart.
Oh, because yeah, they have a match later on in the show, if I'm not mistaken. So he's like, oh yeah, Hukushi's gonna mess him up, and then I won't have to try as hard. King of Memphis.
That's a great move. The soften up the guy before I get to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very traditional old school booking.
But again, like, that's the shit we don't see anymore. Like, at some point, old school got so, like, trite that they never did it ever again. And now I'm like, I miss the old school stuff because it made sense. It has purpose. It's not all perfect, but, like, a lot of the reason that old school booking and old school angles kind of came up again and again was because they work really well. And that's what you need for wrestling. You need to get these stories across as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and they were able to do that very well back in the day. I feel like the new school of wrestlers, don't do it as well these days. They don't know how to convey a story properly. Now he's gonna. What do you think of this?
I'm celebrating in the crowd.
Who is the guy with a white face paint?
I really don't know, and
I
it bothers me. I don't know what he's trying to convey.
I just love that he's here. Like, thanks for coming, dude.
So here's a weird thing for you, right? You're familiar with former independent promotion Chikara,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Hakushi showed up and wrestled in a tag team tournament in Chikara in, I think, the year 2004. I can't remember who his tag team partner was, but like it was the body. He did the tightrope walk, with the like prayer hand, and it was just the wildest thing in the world. I was like, holy shit! Here's Hakushi wrestling like in the same company. There's like ants and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was whenever I watched Chikara, I'm like, there's a lot more ants than I remember in pro wrestling.
There are, I think, in total close to 10 ants that have been in Chikara, that were in Chikara at one point or another.
I think I saw 3 of them. I saw
there was
a red ant. I saw a red ant and a green ant, I think.
So there's fire ant.
Yes.
Green ant, who later went on to be called silver ant, soldier ant. Then there was a new green ant. Then there was worker ant. Then there was assailant, combatant.
Oh my god. Oh no.
There was Arctic adventure ant.
That one I approve of. That's a great one.
There's so many. It's wild, and some of those guys they don't wear masks anymore, and they're wrestling for much bigger promotions. And I don't, I can tell you who they are, but I feel like that would be weird to like break the Chikara illusion, even though it when they shut down for not great reasons.
Well, I think I know one of them. Right, I think you told me who one of the ants was. He's on national TV at the moment, I believe.
Yeah. Well, 2 of them are on national TV, and 1 of them are in Ring of Honor. So they're
I'm pretty sure you told me about one of them who's on national TV.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it there, shall we?
Yeah. It's get back to you.
It's Bret Hart.
Yeah, Bret Hart. He was
national TV. I didn't say it was national wrestling TV. He's national TV in Canada, which is a nation. Oh, look at that! And
back elbow.
Very nice. Like the back elbow, sometimes I don't think are very. I don't think people do them very well. That was a nice one. So Jerry always did a nice one. when he did it up the ropes, you know.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. I used to love the jerk. He kicked him right in the dick right there. It was
Yeah.
a low blow.
Right, yeah, Tim White's gonna get on him. He's like, hey, don't kick him. Don't break his eyes. You're not allowed to do that.
Don't make me shoot myself in the head.
Why I oughta shoot myself in the head for this?
Oh, look at this.
Oh, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
All these sequences. It looked like Bret Hart's head like really connected with that guy's fucking knee on the way down. I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but it looked like it killed Bret Hart.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a language barrier issue here.
A little bit of snugness. Let me see what happens.
Here we go. Here we go. Top rope headbutt.
Oh, the old diving headbutt.
Yeah, people don't do that move anymore because of CTE.
Who does that move? There's somebody who still does it. Is it Brad?
Daniel Bryan.
Oh,
Daniel Bryan was doing it for a long time, but I think he stopped.
He stopped doing that now, which is wise. Very wise.
There's so many people that like, this will be an ode to Dynamite Kid without realizing that Dynamite Kid's body's broken and he's a miserable old man.
He's in a wheelchair, I believe.
Yep.
Oh,
missed.
Oh, thanks for coming, buddy. Bret Hart's up. I mean, I guess you could call that a nip up.
That was it was kind of a nip up.
He was so enthusiastic about it that you can't fault him for it. He was so like, I'm on my feet. I'm like, yeah, Bret, you do it.
Russian leg sweep.
There you go. You can see Bret. He's like, I've had enough of this shit.
WWF, I think, really is what conditioned people to really go into the whole thing about finishers. Because like NWA, like most everyone were just doing like pile drivers and DDTs. No one had like, this is my special finisher, except for like Ric Flair in the figure four. But even then, like, there were other guys doing the figure four.
Right, and fucking Rick used to say that like fucking everybody, like he hardly ever won a match with a figure four.
Oh yeah, because he always went by dirty means. Here's that weird elbow drop.
Hey, it works, and he's pumped up.
Stone Cold Steve Austin did that too, didn't he?
Yeah, which he probably got from Bret Hart.
Probably.
Oh, dude, we should watch like some of the Bret Hart Austin matches. They were really fucking good.
Once again, that was never saw those.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, in this series, we should get them a watch at some point. Oh,
atomic drop.
Because there's some good. I don't know if any of them are at In Your House. I know one of them's at Survivor Series and one of them's at WrestleMania. So maybe we'll get there eventually.
What's the one that Austin's like bleeding and passes out from the pain? I've always been really susceptible, like or suspicious of the whole pass out from the pain thing.
Well, if it's
I can get being put to sleep by like a sleeper holder or like anything that restricts airflow.
Yes.
But it's just like, I don't know. I've never bought the whole, or like the arm bar. I'll buy that because I'll break your arm easily. But like being put in a sharpshooter and just having Bret Hart hold your legs while he sits on your butt, it seems I don't know. Jesus Christ.
You see that? Whoa.
What a weird suicide dive.
Hey, dude, but he did it with minimal injury to himself. Smart man, Bret Hart.
That's true. I love how simple that commentary table is. It is literally just like a press table with or not a press table, like just a folding table with a black sheet over it.
Yeah, there was definitely a point where they were like, because this is still in like the golden age where nobody thought of throwing somebody else to a table, right? Like that would be like a big spot like every so often, because then you'd be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, he broke the table. Whereas at some point in the Attitude Era, it was like, if you didn't go through a table, then fuck you.
Oh Jesus!
Goodness. Holy shit! Whoa, dude.
Bret's going really all out for this match when he has another one later on. But I mean, he's working Jerry, so they're gonna work Memphis style. Mm-hmm. You know who really loves Memphis style like booking and stuff?
Jerry Lawler.
Gato from New Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the booker over there, and like they just had a title match over the weekend or at the end of the week, and it was almost like a retro like NWA match because there were so many like run-ins and like it was like a big old clusterfuck at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. He's like, I want to hold his foot.
Look at this. I mean, that's Okay.
No, this dude can take a punch. I have
Well,
to say. Oh,
yeah, dude. Bret Hart just punched him in the head, and he's like, whatever.
where I feel like if it was like any other manager, like Jim Cornette would have done like a leaping back bump.
Oh yeah, Cornette would have been in the front row. He would have just been like doing a tumble over. I mean, dude, people slag off Cornette a lot, which I don't agree with. But dude, that man, when you watch him in his old segments and shit like that, well, he was
Oh, he's
great.
good at what he did. Yeah.
Oh my god, he was so good. Like he could sell, but he sold in a believable way. Because like if a big wrestler hit a guy, like a manager like that, obviously the manager's not going to be able to fucking take a blow. He's
Yeah.
gonna he's gonna fly across the ring because the other guy's bigger and stronger than him. Like it makes sense.
So what is a match like if you had to rank like who your favorite manager was, who would you say it would be?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I mean, like
Oh, we got to roll up. We got a victory roll.
you got him.
And the victory roll led to the
Beautiful.
victory. That's rare.
Nice man. Look, fucking pyro, whatever.
Why
Bret
why
Hart
are
is
we
here.
doing pyro in the first match?
Fuck you, Japan.
Can I tell you one of my favorite things in WCW Nitro was that at the end of hour 1 they would just have pyro go off.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about that is if there was currently a match taking place, the pyro would still go off. So you would see like Alex Wright versus like Prince Iakea or something, and then like all the pyro fucking goes off while both guys are still like, doing arm work.
Well, that reminds me of that All Elite Wrestling show, the last one I watched, where it was like an outdoor event, I guess, in like whatever stadium they were filming it, and somebody somewhere nearby, while they were recording the show, decided to set off a shit ton of fireworks. So like, I think it was like just after they started, so they were like blah blah blah, and they were all like talking.
I miss this, like the little like heart lights in the ring and stuff. I feel like they don't do that anymore.
Look at this, so Brett selling the leg.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's
And
really.
it'll definitely come into play in this match with Lawler later on.
See, that's just smart, isn't it? It's just smart. It makes sense. Lawler's the kind of guy who's definitely going to take advantage of that. You know?
Yeah.
It's so simple, but effective.
Look at the mullet on Todd Pettigill.
He's just on the phone.
Who's on the? Oh, well, that's Sweet Stan Lane on the phone there, former of the Midnight Express. Who's the person to the right? Because that's like so that's Sweet Stan Lane on the left.
Mm-hmm.
That's a woman, I think. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I feel like that came across terrible. It was the short hair.
Haircut.
Well, and it's because she has very much the same haircut as Sweet Stan Lane.
Right. That's what I'm saying, dude. They're exactly the same. And they have the same phone.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same person. And Jerry Lawler is
I love the fact that they're like miming a conversation, because if they were legitimately talking, that'd be getting picked up on the mic. Jerry Lawler would be like, "Hey, can you excuse me for a second? I'm cutting a promo."
I don't know. Lawler.
So this is one. How expensive is this 1-900 number? It's $149 a minute.
Can I just say, don't phone that number because the phone number is no longer active.
I would call that number to speak to Sweet Stan Lane. I'd be like, "Yo, your version of the Midnight Express was so much better than Loverboy Dennis Condrey."
Who's this?
I don't know. She's animated.
Who is this? Oh, who are these people? What the?
Is there a
wait.
contest? Yeah, those are like a bunch of postcards. There's like a contest of some variety.
Oh my God! Is somebody gonna dive into that big pile of postcards?
They're giving away. I think they're definitely like giving away money or something, because that's an armored truck.
Oh, dude, there was one of these. I don't know if it's this one. Maybe it is this one. But there's one of these in your house shows where they give away a house. Where it's literally like we're gonna give away.
Now, are they giving are you paying the mortgage for the house? Like, are you?
It's like
Because giving away a house is very difficult. Because if they're just giving away a house and they're like, here, this house is completely paid for, that is the WWF that just did like $100,000 deal, like contest for somebody.
right.
It would be, but it also would be kind of shitty. Ah, there's the man.
Boo! Get this fucking client out of my business.
J-E. Ha! Double F. J-A. Double R-E. Double T.
We all know how to spell his name. Good lord! Like imagine that was your gimmick, is just spelling your own name.
See, now Jeff Jarrett was one of those guys that he used the figure 4 as a finish, and he used like a running DDT, and like he came up with the stroke. I think the stroke happened when he lost his hair to X-Pac.
Oh, classic moment.
Yeah.
Classic.
Fucking Road Dogg.
What was it? Yeah?
Hold on. Xbox on the phone. Let me get this.
Hello?
Why? Why is Xbox sound like he's like someone's gonna ask him if he wants to have like fries with that? Phone
Hello?
phone technology was worse in '95.
My name's X-Pac, but at the moment it's 123 Kid. But later on it's gonna be X-Pac.
It's gonna be 6 first, and then it'll be Xbox,
It's gonna be 6. And
and then it'll be 6-Pac, and that's
6
legitimate.
man is X-Pac because I'm no longer a pack. What that means.
I want now Pac from AEW. Can he be X-Pac?
Well,
Do you think it would allow him?
no, he's new Pac.
New
X-Pac
Pac.
is what Pac used to be, but now he's X-Pac, and then so Pac is not.
Oh, I mean, here's Scott Hall doing his like weird Puerto Rican accent.
Can I ask a question? Is 123 Kid still on the phone? How long is he gonna be on the phone for?
Is he now talking to Scott Hall?
Yeah, like Scott. Hey, Scott. Where'd you get your shirts?
Look at fucking Road Dogg. He was not a big fan of this gimmick, I'm gonna guess, because like he's like, okay, you are the roadie of a country music star, and he's like, let me get some white boy dreads.
Yeah, I never really got. I mean, like when he was Road Dogg, it was a cool look, but I never
Yeah.
really got why he wore dreads.
Love the Armstrong family. What I love about Road Dogg is he's the most famous of the Armstrongs, but he's the worst wrestler of the Armstrongs. Like his brother Brad was fucking amazing, but like he had no charisma whatsoever.
That's exactly it. Like Brad was a way better like wrestler, but something about Road Dogg was that he was just so good on the mic, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why, because like I remember, yeah, dude, years ago I heard this podcaster Raven, and he was talking about how he was like he would happily admit that he wasn't great in the ring, but he was a good talker. And he was like the worst one of all of them is Road Dogg. He's like Road Dogg's a great talker, but man, that guy is not a good one.
Yeah, like it's funny because you look at his brother Brad, and Brad was like always super muscular. But then you look at Road Dogg, and Road Dogg looks like, the second someone's like, you can wrestle in sweatpants, he was like, done.
He's like 100%. But like they both knew enough to like
Boom, pyro.
buy. That looks a little bit like the Goldust Pyro too.
Well, the Goldust, yeah. Well, at this point, I don't think Goldust is a thing at this point.
When was 95? Maybe not.
Maybe he's coming up
Maybe
soon.
maybe he's under the ring
Yeah,
and he's gonna.
because wasn't his first feud with Razor Ramon?
Yeah, he's gonna come give Scott Hall a little kiss, and then Scott Hall's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't go for that shit. No.
You know what's great though? I saw like an old like Raw thing, and Scott Hall's a character. He's just like, "Yo, I don't have a problem, but I'm not into that." And I was like, "That's oddly progressive for 1995."
Yeah, like why don't they just all say that? You know?
Yeah, which is great. Like, I watched a WCW pay per view from like '92, and the Freebirds, which is Michael Hayes and Jimmy Jam Garvin, they were in a tag match, and at this point they were like, "We're rock stars," like we're no longer like rednecks with the Confederate flag. Now we're like rock stars, and they did like sparkly outfits, and they put on like makeup and stuff, and like the crowd straight up just chanting gay slurs at them, and I'm like, oh, I'm amazed the WWE didn't like sweeten this up and like edit that out.
I like the way you were like, we're no longer, rednecks with a Confederate flag. Now we're rock stars with a Confederate flag.
Now we're rock stars, the Confederate flag.
You can't get rid of your roots, my friend. It's always about the.
Here's the thing. I really like Jimmy Garvin, but I can't remember if he ever did like Confederate flag stuff. I think that died. I think that died in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I think it when Buddy Roberts left, and it was just Jimmy Jam and Bam Bam Terry Gordy. I think it's when they started dropping the Confederate flag.
You said it was Michael Hayes. He was a big component of.
Yeah,
Confederate flag.
I think it was. Yeah. It was. I think it was probably Buddy Roberts.
Well, either way, not a great angle. what is going on here? Road Dogg is just hanging out by the ring, making it seem like he's definitely going to interfere, and the referee's like, "That's fine."
Well, no, this is a handicap match.
Is it?
It is
Oh,
a handicap match. And I
oh.
think that's where the part of us like talking over commentary is gonna be problems sometimes.
But
I'm like, wow, Road Dogg's blatantly cheating. It's like, oh no, he's allowed.
isn't it more fun this way?
Yeah, I'm for it.
Here we go. So, oh, I mean, I gotta say, lovely drop kick.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is what I liked about Jarrett is a guy like Jarrett doesn't exist nowadays because like he was never adverse to playing like the cowardly heel. Like I think the closest thing to him is I get, you know, and you hate him too, is like the Miz.
I
Like,
do hate him, but like, I don't.
yeah, and I think
Get him
just like I think all of like villains in wrestling these days are like they're all afraid to be seen as weak.
Yeah.
And they all want to do really cool moves.
Well, I just like this. The big
Road Dogg with a double axe handle.
The reason I don't like Jeff Jarrett and The Miz isn't because at some point they played cowardly heels. I do wish that they would bring that angle back. The reason I don't like Jeff Jarrett is because I don't really know why I don't like Jeff Jarrett. I just never like took a shine to him, and then like you would just see him everywhere. Like 1998, he was all over WWE. Then he went to WCW. Then he formed TNA.
He was. They brought him in as a big deal in WCW. When
Yeah.
they like rebranded the NWO and they got like, we're getting rid of all the other members and we're just gonna do one NWO. It was like him, Nash, Steiner, and
I think Bret Hart was in that.
Kevin Nash. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Kevin Nash, Bret Hart, Scott Steiner, and Jeff Jarrett. They were the NWO 2000.
Yeah, and you know it's recent because if you put the number 2000 in something, it sounds really cool.
Yeah, except for Techno Team 2000. They were like 10 years before that.
Right, they were like way before that, so they fucked that one up.
Yeah, they did. We are the tag team from the future. Now, were they really from the future, or with? That'd be really funny. It's like we're from 10 years in the future. I'm like, man, fashion's gonna get real weird.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, man. It's so funny that they said they were from the future, but like, funny enough, they fit in perfectly in the shitty time that they're in. You know what I mean? Like their fashion.
Oh, yeah, they sucked as wrestlers.
I mean, that's also a factor too. Oh, hang on, man. We're missing Road Dogg in the ring.
Road Dogg's doing moves.
Proving us wrong. We were talking about how silly of a wrestler he is. But look at him. Look at this.
Doing those elbow drops.
Yeah, there we go. Fucking elbow.
Doing Bullet Bob proud.
Yeah. What else has he got? He's got the. What's he? Hang on. He's gonna do something really good. Oh dear.
He's dancing.
Oh no.
Once again, I don't know if Road Dogg knows what a country music like person's supposed to be like. I think he doesn't understand his own gimmick.
This is what it is. It's exactly what it is. You know, if you're ever a country music star, you dress in like, you know,
You get dreadlocks and sweatpants.
dreadlocks and sweatpants and like ill-fitting shirt.
And you do pop and lock dancing.
Yeah, and then every so often you do like a sloppy elbow drop or something. What's he doing now? Pile driver? Oh, DDT? Suplex?
No, he's gonna do a vertical suplex.
Whoop. Or is he?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Schoolboy.
Road Dogg's on the apron. Like I'm not afraid of a schoolboy. I'm pretty confident he'll kick out.
You know what I think is you're talking about Jarrett and Road Dogg. Let's talk about Scott Hall for a second. Scott Hall, one of the most deceptively big dudes in wrestling. He's like 6'8".
Yeah. Oh, we talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, because he always hung out with Kevin Nash, who's a 7-footer.
You see Nash. Like Nash is such a big fucking dude, and you see Scott Hall beside him. You're like, well, obviously Scott Hall is smaller than Kevin Nash. It's a small dude, and because they're always together. You forget like, you know.
I can't remember who it was. Somebody was talking about like the Hardy Boys, and they said something like Matt and Jeff Hardy are tall guys.
Yeah.
Like they're 6'2", 6'3", and it's just because in the WWE and WWF that Vince really loved big dudes. So like they just looked small in comparison to everyone else. Like, I remember like I was watching like early WCW, and they were like, "This is the light heavyweight championship," and they were like, "The weight limit's like 230 pounds." I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's a big dude.
Yeah. I remember the light heavyweight championship in WWF when they started. I think it was 220, and at the time I was like, that's fine. You know, like to me when I first started, I'm like 220 sounds appropriate. But then like when Kurt Angle came in, Kurt Angle was 220 when he came in. I'm like, whoa, Kurt Angle is a light heavyweight champion. Look at him. You know.
What a diving clothesline by the Road Dogg.
Hey man, he's working his ass off here. And Scott Hall
Woo!
did his best. He's like, oh, that really hurt. The best thing is Road Dogg, the look on his face. He's like, fucking nailed it.
Did it.
Really, look at that shit-eating grin right there.
I did it.
We
Did my
did.
dad proud.
We're not gonna pin him. We're just gonna.
We'll take the count out. Yeah, see,
We
classic chicken shit heel stuff.
we
Win's a win.
we've left Scott Hall on the floor for about 10 seconds, so we're not even gonna try to pin him.
No, like you said, I take the count out victory.
Right, but he's still
That's
alive.
a big dude.
Fucking pin him.
And look, Jarrett and Jarrett's just like, no, you should have counted faster. I'm gonna go to the top rope and I'm gonna eat shit on this one.
I'm gonna do my patented top rope maneuver because I'm Jeff Jarrett.
He had a diving crossbody. He had a really pretty diving crossbody.
Oh, look at that. Tight. I gotta say, he's doing some nice drop kicks.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett was good.
Well, I'm not gonna. Right, I just like my Jeff Jarrett. Just like I think everybody has like wrestlers they just like don't care for it. So like
Yeah.
I can admit that Jeff Jarrett in the ring, like he knows what he's doing. Like that
Swinging
guy.
neck breaker. Yeah.
Yeah, he's it's in the family, it's in his blood. He's had plenty of experience.
He's third generation.
Yeah, I just never cared much for Jeff Jarrett, but at the same time, I'm like, well, he was good. Like the guy could move, which is an opinion I don't share with the Miz. Like, no, the Miz is garbage, and I don't like him, and nobody should like him because he's a terrible wrestler. We're gonna see if that whole Miz conversation for a different day. I think
This guy in the front row is trying to get a razor chant started.
that guy looked like Kurgan from the Odyssey.
He looks like Kurgan from the Oddities.
Yeah, that's what Kurgan looked like. Remember when he would come on dance?
I remember. I remember. I listened to like a Don Callis interview, and he talked about how like he was managing Kurgan. And he's like, Kurgan really loved to dance, and he's like kept telling him, he's like, do not ever dance in front of Vince McMahon because you do, and your career's over. And sure enough, they were at like some sort of like a party, and Kurgan started to dance, and Don Callis said he saw Vince's face light up, and he was like, well, that's that.
That's the end of that. But that's typical of Vince McMahon, where like Kurgan's a big, imposing looking dude. Like you could really do stuff with him. But instead, Vince McMahon is like, look how funny that guy is when he dances. You gimmick, please. And oh my goodness, that was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at the way Scott Hall like hits the ropes. Like he hits them really deep. That's something I miss about old wrestling as well. It sounds like a silly thing, but like people don't hit the ropes like as deep as they used to, and I think that's because a lot of people are smaller guys these days, so they don't have.
Yeah, it hurts like hell. Yeah, they don't have the meat on the bone to take it.
Bulk to like hit the ropes and like deep into it. Because the idea of getting thrown against the ropes is that you bounce off them, and for that to happen, you have to hit the ropes pretty deep to be able to generate enough force to bounce you back the other way, right? So if you watch a guy like Scott Hall, I tell you who's really good at it is the Godfather.
Oh yeah.
When he hits the ropes, you're like, he's hitting them.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, but then he fucking hit it. Oh my goodness, he almost got it.
He tried.
My goodness. Yeah. See, again, like Scott Hall, like just kicking out on that. That's a nice little touch. You know what I mean? It wasn't a 2 count. It was like a 2.9 count, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like nobody expects the Road Dogg to beat Scott Hall, but like it's still. Oh, look at him, he's pissed. But it's still a nice, like little touch. Now here we go. So, are they gonna do the arm?
Yep, checking his breath.
Let me ask you this. This is something that my brother really gets annoyed by these days. It's a real problem he has. When they do the arm drop, right? To see if somebody's in a sleeper and the referee lifts his arm and he lets it drop. Nowadays, they don't do the 3 drops. They just do 1. And he gets so annoyed by that because it takes away any like tension.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if you see the referee and he lifts the guy's arm and it drops once, you're like, oh my goodness. And he lifts it and it drops twice. You're like, oh, he is fucked. And he lifts it and he drops it, but like halfway through he catches himself. Like that's the tension, right? But now they don't do that. They just lift the arm up once, the guy drops it, and then shakes it out.
I remember there was a weird, because it reminds me of William Regal. He was talking about I think it was like Twitter or something.
Oh,
Fuck it. Wow, big bump. He was talking about how one of his pet peeves, and he said it was something he talked about, and when he was like training people in NXT, was when there was like a close 2 count, and he said like the good guy would act in disbelief and like check with the referee, and he was like, they shouldn't do that. He's like, that's what villains do, is
yeah.
because they're the ones questioning the count. Like they should just be immediately back on him.
Yes, I agree with that. But that just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, but that's shit that like people don't think about. The people in the wrestling business don't think about that. Like, you know what I mean? But they need a guy like William Regal to tell them because he's learned it. And
Yep.
I think there's enough people kind of like telling other people. That's why a guy like William Regal is so fucking important to have in your company. Because that guy knows wrestling inside and out. Oh, oops. Look at
Oh,
this. Miscommunication. Oh, he's fucked now.
yep.
He's going for a ride. Oh, is he?
He's trying to fight it off.
Come on, man. Scott Hall, what are you waiting for? You waiting for somebody to
There
come
he is.
tear it off the oh no, I thought that's what they were gonna do. But there we go.
Clean as a sheet.
What a fun match that was.
Yeah, no, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, actually, as Jeff Jarrett matches go, not bad. Look at that kid. He's having a great time.
Yeah, man. He's like, hell yeah, Razor Ramon won.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
I love that guy whose gimmick is Miami Drug Lord.
I hope nothing ever happens to my favorite Scott Hall and he stays a great wrestler. He never does drugs or alcohol ever. And I'm like, boy, kid, you're gonna have a great.
Is the referee gonna reverse the decision? I think he is, because he's about to fucking Razor Ramon's Road Dog.
Little chop block. The referee's like, get out of here.
Gonna work that knee.
Yeah, fuck him up. The referee's just, I love the bit where the referee dropped to his knee. I was like, no, like with the arms, as if like that's ever gonna fucking do anything.
I will always love, like, we're gonna call for the bell, as if like Oh, here's Aldo Montoya. Here he is, the Portuguese man of war himself.
Look at him. Hit him. He's looking alright, I gotta say.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not just the best. He's not just great.
I always hated that name because
it was a terrible name.
Because that was his surname was credible. And I'm like,
legitimately? No, it's not, because it's Polacco.
Right, but the gimmick, he's just incredible. So that means he's like Mr. Credible. I'm like,
I love that. I love a failed run-in. Aldo Montoya just showed up to try to save the day and just ate shit.
Who's this guy?
It's Savio Vega. I believe.
So Savio Vega.
He's still wrestling. He's in a.
Savio Vega's great, man. Oh.
Yeah, he's still wrestling. He's in MLW.
But that's what you mean. Like, we had a field run-in, and so it was so bad that we had to get Savio Vega.
It was so bad that Savio Vega had to come in and save the day.
He's really going to time.
Yeah. Oh.
Really fucking. This is fun. Look at this.
Yeah.
You feel like there's real heat between these guys. They're like Vega's really.
Road Dogg was on. He went on to the 1995 version of Twitter and started talking about Jesus and being anti-democrat and stuff. What is that dude's hair?
I know, right?
He looks like kind of like Prince Valiant with a receding hairline.
He looks like one of the Three Stooges.
Larry? Yeah, he does.
A little bit, right?
Like if Larry and Mo had a like a.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
if they like, but the other guy looked a bit like one of the Three Stooges too. What the hell?
Hey, don't touch Savio Vega.
He'll fuck you up, dude.
Yeah, man. The Puerto Rican champion.
He'll definitely fuck you up, man.
Wait,
that was
is that the?
Like that.
I can't remember what his belt is. So he's like a champion currently.
Wait.
But who is this?
What the fuck?
We got ninjas and samurai. King of the Ring. Is that like a crusader?
Oh, it's just an average.
Is that Terry Gordy? They just had like the executioner there.
Okay, so just
everybody, we're gonna meet up at Medieval Times. Watch this pay-per-view.
I mean, that's what people do, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's live June 25th.
I'll get right on that. Next year, clear your calendar. Maybe COVID will be over. We can watch it.
Look at this. King is pissed. He's like, what the hell? I told you to kill Bret Hart.
Did he change clothes? Was he wearing something different earlier?
I feel like the jacket
I
was a bit different, wasn't it?
I think so.
I feel like it.
Jerry Lawler had a costume change. Now,
Or
is this pre getting his son a job in WWE?
I believe yes, I think so. I think his son came in 19.
Oh man, here he is, the master of the universe or whatever he called himself.
Look at it! Look
Look
at
at
that!
that underbite.
That is one hell of a chin. Why
You could
the,
seek shelter from a rainstorm under that damn thing.
seriously, dude? Why would they do the undershot like?
It's just more Aldo Montoya eating shit.
Is that the whole show? This is not a good look for Sid right there.
No.
Don't forget you.
Is that Mustafa the Supreme Fighting Machine?
Imagine those. Oh Jesus Christ! They just get baptized.
Sid didn't give a shit. Sid didn't give a single shit.
Oh, is that Michaels?
Yeah, that's Shawn Michaels.
Fuck, Shawn Michaels up too. Sid's like, I ain't done. I got more fucking.
The rapid blinking something that always cracked me up too. That's how you can tell I'm psycho. I have something in my eye.
What the fuck?
I don't know shit, cry baby.
That's one thing that always like I that's one of my pet peeves is when these like old school wrestlers start to laugh and like in a way that isn't laughter and then they just like stop laughing and look really menacing into the camera.
You know what though? If I was Sid, I'd be mad too.
Oh Jesus! Does he just not hit a good powerbomb? What the fuck?
I think that's like the idea. It's just like my power bomb's dangerous.
That's one sloppy ass powerbomb, dude.
My face is twitching. That's
Sid,
how you know my nostrils
like,
are flaring.
He's like, no, my powerbomb is safe. Don't
now.
Powerbomb.
So is he Psycho Sid here or Sid Vicious or Sid Justice?
I think
I can't remember.
He was Sid. Wasn't he Sid Justice in ECW?
Michael P.S. Hayes.
Vince McMahon, I'm looking at all and impressed.
Do.
Vince McMahon's like, whatever you have to say, I disagree with 100%.
Now this is a very rare. Now is Doc Hendricks playing heel commentator? Who's this person with a black glove touching him? Look at this 5XL Bret Hart T-shirt.
Oh, I kind of want one, isn't it? Like, look at that.
I don't, man. In today's world, I don't know if I want to walk around with targets all over me.
Well, that is.
It's got printing all over it. $20, one size fits all. So you are legitimately buying a 6XL shirt.
I mean, that's the kind of like I would use that as pajamas. You know.
Hey, this phone number is no longer available.
Fuck, man. I was just in the middle of phoning it up. I really want.
Look, this person bought it.
What do you think of the shirt? Like,
this lady bought it. The guy beside him bought it. Oh, that's a lady. So these ladies got him. They're like, hell yeah, Bret Hart in the 5XL shirt.
That guy looks pissed off about it for some reason.
Oh, here he is. We're on a mission.
Oh my goodness.
We're on a mission.
This now you see a moment ago you were of the 5XL shirt for Bret Hart. Why would anybody need a shirt that big? Well, I'll tell you exactly why, my friend. Because
that would fit snug on Mabel if it was 5XL.
Dude, can I also just say, this guy, look, if you look at this guy, right? He does, like, he's not a great wrestler. We both know that. But
no, but he doesn't need to be.
But when you look at him, he looks imposing. He looks really big. Like, he looks like a pro wrestler, right? Because it looks like it's hard to beat him, right? He looks intimidating. Yeah?
Yeah.
His name is Mabel.
Yeah.
That's like the most old lady name in the world.
So I have to ask you, are you a Mabel person, a Viscera person, or a Big Daddy V person?
This is really hard to kind of... Basically, you know me and Bryce do our show, right? It's called Making Kayfabe, where we rewrite stuff.
Yeah, and you got that plug from Danhausen.
We did, which was fucking sweet. But we have a running joke on that show where we talk about Viscera a lot. So, because
you should.
Because we're rewriting different bad storylines, so we're like, what if we made Viscera the heavyweight champion? Ha ha ha. And so Viscera is a running joke in the show, and we have talked about Viscera. We've talked about Big Daddy V and his enormous titties. Like,
yes,
the only reason he was Big Daddy V was to wear that singlet to show off his tits, and we were just like, we can't be doing this. We did talk about Mabel as well, because we talked about a match between it was Mabel versus Kevin Nash.
Oh shit. So yeah, no, this is leading up to King Mabel.
Okay, so I wonder who's going to win this.
Yeah. So let's take a moment and talk about Brian Clark.
Okay.
So Brian Clark is Adam Bomb.
Yes.
Before this, he was in WCW, and I believe his name was the Night Stalker. Which that seems, you want to name your character after fucking Richard Ramirez. And then I think after this, he went to WCW and he was Wrath. And he got like a pretty decent push in Wrath. He was beating up, mid card and lower mid card guys all the time. But then he took his God-given name of Brian Clark, if I'm not mistaken, and he was half of Chronic.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Chronic. I remember their entrance music.
Well, I remember seeing Chronic. Let's put it that way. I don't remember their fucking music, but I remember watching matches. That's.
Yeah, they had like 2 or 3 bad matches in the WWF after during the invasion, and that was it. They were done. So it was like him and Brian Adams, who did not rate Summer of '69.
I would like to point out that Chronic definitely had bad matches in WCW as well. That means
I can't remember, because when I think of tag team wrestling in that time, I think of Sean O'Hare and Mark Jindrak.
Yes.
Because they did that sweet move where they hip tossed you from outside of the ring back into the ring, which is wild. That's they're throwing you straight up 10 feet.
Oh my god, that was not a good catapult clothesline.
Listen, no one's going to say Adam Bomb is great.
Right, but he's in the ring with Viscera.
Oh, no. So when he was Wrath first, he was in part of the Blood Runs Cold storyline with Glacier and Mortis. Yes. And a pre-Father James Mitchell, James Vandenberg.
Yeah. You know what's really funny is Raven keeps calling him Vandenberg. We would call him Mitchell, James Mitchell. Yeah. Raven keeps calling him. Oh.
What a spinning heel kick.
Hey, man. Oh, yeah. So, if we ever get to this, I don't remember when Diesel versus Mabel is, but that is something.
Oh, he's dead. He killed him.
Let me tell you, I watched.
Yeah, he killed him. He's dead.
I mean, Kevin Nash is I don't want to ever be in the ring with Mabel ever again because he's sloppy and he's a big dude. And he broke my ribs. I'm like, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, when Kevin Nash is telling other people that they're sloppy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, that kid's got a Hasbro. Got a green card Hasbro. Now, wasn't Adam Bomb part of his shtick is that he had a red tongue for some reason?
He had a different color tongue. I don't remember if it was red, but it was some kind of because he's nuclear powered.
Yeah, irradiated.
Yeah, that's what it does to your tongue. It doesn't fuck you up.
I saw. Now, I want to point out something here. We have Savio Vega, who is legitimately Latin American, and he's hanging out with Razor Ramon, who's pretending to be Cuban.
Pretending to be from Cuba.
It's Razor Ramon, as white as the day is long, because he was Scott Gator Hall in the AWA. I remember that very clearly because I just loved his nickname was Gator.
But he had the mustache.
He had the big mustache, yeah.
Big mustache.
His natural brown hair.
Yeah, he looked like Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
If Tom Selleck ever became a wrestler. Oh dear.
I watched this terrible show recently. It was WWF Mania, which apparently was the kids show that was on Saturday mornings. And it was from around this time period. And Todd here was doing the worst attempts at comedy in the world that that it was absolutely geared towards children. And they're kids will laugh at anything. And I remember he did some straight up racist stuff. But hey, speaking of racist, we got some cowboys.
Hey, just because you're a cowboy doesn't mean you're a racist.
Yeah, I've never heard anything bad about Billy or Bart Gunn. So, I take that back.
Wow. I'm sure we can find some dirt on him. You want me to you want me to try to
So we got... And let's point out something. Billy Gunn, still in incredible shape and still wrestling today.
Yeah, dude. You can't knock
It's close to 20 years from this point.
Yeah, dude. Billy looks great.
15 years exactly from this, actually.
How about that?
Still good.
Dude,
Boy, Billy Gunn, every attempt to push him as a singles guy just never worked, did it?
you mean 25 years from this point?
Oh, you're right. It is 25. Good Lord.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Billy Gunn, man, still in great shape. Now, let's not say that the steroids had something to
Oh,
do
here
with it.
we go. Is your boy Jim Cornette?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh my goodness.
This Camp Cornette here with
Oh,
Owen and Yokozuna. Oh, look at Bret Hart. Bret Hart, who appears to be like mourning the loss of somebody, mourning the loss of his functional knee.
mm-hmm. I'm gonna get that $0. All right, I'm interested now. This should be good. I mean, I love me some Owen Hart. I love me some Owen Hart.
Let me hold up my tiny little flag. USA, USA, USA.
That'll show them. I mean, that guy's got a giant flag of Japan, but no, my tiny flag of America will sort that out. Look at that, holding the ropes open for Yokozuna. That is a class act.
Yeah, man. Now, how familiar are you with like Jim Cornette's like NWA character? Because it's one of my favorites.
I have seen a lot of different bits of Jim Cornette.
So basically, Jim Cornette's gimmick is that his mother pays for all of his like wrestling stuff. So like his mom like paid for the contracts to have Bob Eaton and like Dennis Condrey and Sweet Stan Lane. Because I remember he like lost the titles, I think, to the Road Warriors, and he was like in tears, like cutting a promo, like begging forgiveness from his mom. So yeah, he was just a little crybaby. He's a little mama's boy.
Right, but he gets it. Like that's the angle.
Yeah.
Like that's like he's not afraid of like making himself look silly in the rest of the ring in a way that makes sense for professional wrestling, right?
I love that he just like dropped and the Japanese flag got like dragged across the ring. Hey, it's Mr. Fuji though. Now they see this is weird about Camp Cornette is they had two managers. You had Mr. Fuji and Jim.
Right, like
and it was just like, oh, this is the problem. It's just that we can't cut promos because Fuji's English is terrible.
Yeah, so
actually, I think his English was fine. I think it was just his accent.
Did they ever do a bit where like he cuts a promo in Japanese and Cornette translates it, but like isn't translating it? You know what I mean? Like he just makes up whatever. Like, oh, I'm pretty sure he said this. You know?
You know who's deceptively younger than you'd think? Jim Cornette. Because you think he was like around in the 80s, but he was like a kid then.
Yeah, he was really young when he started in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what
Oof.
that's what poor diet will do to you.
I mean, you've heard that guy talk about what he eats. Oh my, look at this! Look at this!
Fucking Billy and Bart Gunn there, which is great when you think about this. Later on, like probably 2-3 years after this point, Bart Gunn goes on to be part of the new Midnight Express under Jim Cornette as bombast. You know, he's bodacious Bart, and then there's bombastic Bob. So it was him and Bob Holly.
Yeah. Oh man.
It was part of like weird, like Jim Cornette's like, I can make the 80s stuff work again, and it just didn't work at all.
He tried his best, but people
tried.
And it's a CMR. People aren't interested in what he has to say. Oops, look at that.
Oops. Yeah, look at Bart Gunn. Look at Bart Gunn working. If there was ever, failed attempts to getting Billy Gunn over as a singles guy, Bart Gunn didn't even get that.
Right. What? Okay. Now there's a guy with a dropkick, fucking Billy Gunn.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was after this he was Rockabilly with Honky Tonk Man. Yes. And then he formed the New Age Outlaws.
Yes. And
then they gave him King of the Ring, and The Rock absolutely destroyed him on the mic one night, and that was it. Billy Gunn was done.
Yeah. I mean,
now was Billy and Chuck before or after the one Billy Gunn?
The one that was after. I remember the one Billy Gunn. That was in 2000. The latter half of 2000, whereas Billy and Chuck would have been 2002, I believe, when that started. I love Cornette's like tennis racket like covers.
Yes, these are absolutely ridiculous.
If you ever went to like look at that. If you ever went to like play tennis at a tennis club and you brought a tennis racket like that's in a cover like so extravagant like that, Also, Jim Cornette doesn't look like the kind of guy who plays tennis. It's a wonderful gimmick all around, isn't it? Like it's
yeah, absolutely
perfectly worth.
And it was just like it was just such an 80s thing for all managers to have their prop.
Yeah.
Because so Jimmy Hart had the megaphone, he had the tennis racket. Paul Jones had the riding crop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think my favorite one, just because of how ineffectual, but it was like he didn't need it because he was managing the Road Warriors, is Precious Paul Ellering. He just had like a copy of the Wall Street Journal.
Right. Well, that's exactly what you said there, dude. Like they don't need a fucking the Road
Yeah,
Warriors
it's the
are
Road
gonna
Warriors.
sell everything anyway. Like
Yeah, they're not gonna sell shit.
they don't fucking need anyone hitting anybody else with outside weapons because they're gonna do that shit themselves.
Have you ever heard stories of Paul Ellering talking about managing the Road Warriors?
Oh, I bet that was a fucking blast, huh?
Yeah, he was like legitimately their manager. He like booked their hotels for them and their travel and stuff. And he like,
I heard
because
that.
apparently Hawk and Animal were just nightmares to deal with.
Well, no, I think that was kind of like a manager's thing to do at the time because
Yeah.
Paul Bearer used to do that for the Undertaker a lot. Like he would just do everything, the Undertaker, book. Well, you know what I mean? Like book all the hotels and get the accommodation and flights and stuff sorted out, get the cars sorted
Now
out.
now I'm just imagining Undertaker like talking to Paul Bearer. I don't know how to book an airplane ticket.
And Paul Bearer's like, it's easy. Oh, look at
You,
this. You see that?
yeah. The Smoking Guns, I think, were better than people want to remember them for.
Yeah.
It is a dumb gimmick. Like, we're cowboys and we wrestle in now wrestling in jeans though. God bless them for that.
That's
Because
hard.
this is before like the spandex jeans.
My
Like,
goodness.
because Dean Ambrose would wrestle in like spandex jeans essentially.
Oh, you see that bump by Cornette? Did you see that? He's milking it as well.
Yeah.
Falling over it.
He there was a scaffold match that the Midnight Express and the Road Warriors were in the 80s, and he like legit took a bump off a scaffold. So he
Yeah.
like fell 10 feet down. I think he broke something.
I think he got really fucked up off that, right?
Yeah.
Wait, that was it?
That was it.
Cornette's like, yeah, we did it. I don't even.
We did it. He's still selling that punch. God bless him.
He's so good.
Here they are. Owen and Yokozuna, still tag team champions.
We
didn't talk about Owen Hart at all in that, and let's not do it in mini credit. We talked more about Bart Gunn than we did Owen Hart.
Well, I want to say, like earlier, Owen Hart did this wonderful like spinning heel kick. I'm like, you see that, Mister? That's how it's done. You know what I mean? Like, beautiful.
Now we got Diesel backstage. Is this back when he's still like putting on the weird voice?
What's he got in his hand?
I think it was like wrist tape.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Diesel.
Cutting this super like whatever, like no intensity whatsoever.
It's really well. Now he's really selling the severity of facing Sid Vicious. Yeah. He's like, wow, I'm not joking around tonight. I'm Big Daddy Cool.
Oh my.
Yeah, Big Daddy Cool gonna face Psycho Sid in a match.
I'm gonna fuck him up. See you later. Can you imagine? This is gonna be a match of like the sloppiest power bombs.
Oh. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be brutal. I love Kevin Nash because Kevin Nash understood like I'm a big dude. I don't have to do shit.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was gonna say too, man. I love Kevin Nash, but I think we can both agree that he did a sloppy powerbomb.
Oh yeah, I mean he lifted you up and he dropped you.
He just dropped you.
But he's dropping you from like 7 feet up. So I mean does the job.
I do love Nash in that I think he's great on the mic. Like I think he's a funny dude. He's got like he has charisma, like he does.
Absolutely, way more than he probably should. I think it's why they like made him like a world champion and a star because it's like he's physically imposing and he's a good talker.
Exactly. Yes, he might not be like super good in the ring, but again, like he can do enough stuff in the ring for a guy his size to get by. He doesn't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Rey Mysterio, because that would be ridiculous. A guy his size shouldn't be Rey Mysterio. It's silly. He needs to. But what I like about Nash is that he's so smart. He figured out like the bare minimum of what he needed to do, and he's like, "This will do it."
Yep, right? I'm done.
But that worked for him because he was able to get by for years. Like we all joke about him ripping his quads or whatever, hilarious. But for the most part, he got a lot of time on top. And he didn't have to do a whole lot. Like, smart dude. And he made a shit ton of money from it.
Yeah.
He's a smart dude.
Oh, here's Jerry Lawler.
Oh, sweet. Is he gonna come out with like a big card? Oh no, he's just here.
That girl is 13 years old.
And already his wife.
Yeah, she's gonna be late for Mrs. Smith's home ec class tomorrow.
Oh man. Well, he'll drive her to school tomorrow in his limousine, so it'll be alright.
He tells people that he's her dad, so he can sign her out of class for the day.
Look at his hair. I didn't think the king had
The
hair.
mullet, yeah, he had a bit of a mullet.
Oh boy, man. The 19th.
Oh, so which is worse is he's pretending that she's his mother. So now we're getting like an incest taboo going on with Jerry Lawler on top of his proclivities towards the younger women.
He's pretending that this woman who's clearly like 20 years younger.
Yeah. He keeps calling her mom, and like Vince and Doc Hendricks were like, Jerry Lawler in the middle of the ring with a woman he's claiming to be his mother.
I mean, we can all agree that there's no way. Oh, mommy, give him a little kiss. And then it's like, why does mommy give me another kiss? On the face, on the lips, maybe? Maybe a little bit further south, if you know what I'm talking about. And she's like, this is not how you talk to your mother.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Jerry, you're grounded.
We're going to have a talk when we get home. And then Jerry's like, woo, hooray! And then she's like, no. What? Go that way? Okay. Thanks, Jerry Lawler. He's so happy. So happy.
Bret Hart, we're going to need... Bret, you're going to be wrestling a pedophile here in about 5-10 minutes. How do you feel about this?
Pretty good. Gotta say. Looking forward to kicking the guy in the face. I'll have to use my other leg because this leg, I fucked it up.
I mean, we're all going to know how it's going to go. Second rope, elbow drop, Russian leg sweep, sharpshooter. Everybody goes home.
Everybody goes home. Not even everybody goes home happy. It's like, just go home.
Just go home.
It's the end of this shit. So does the king not get an entrance?
No, he had his entrance off camera. What the fuck is this?
Okay.
Oh, he was joking. I was like, oh, what a weird sell on that knee.
Yeah, I was like, is that what he? Because not so long ago, talking about Bret Hart.
I guess he's trying to. Oh yeah, Jerry's like, oh fuck, his knee's not that hurt.
Okay. Yeah.
Jerry Lawler with the titty out. Always an interesting attire choice for him.
Yeah, the one strap. I always thought that was weird, the one strap. Look at this. Like, oh, man. Listen, man.
What is that? Look at that fan art of Bret Hart in the front row. Nice.
We can talk about Jerry Lawler being a pedophile all day. And, we're going to be probably pretty close to the mark.
When he dies, that's when the story is going to come out, and that's when we're going to get serious about it. It's like that documentary that Michael Jackson had where one of the kids he abused was just like, yeah, Michael, he told me to do stuff, and I do it. That's what we're going to hear, but it's going to be from Jerry Lawler. It's going to be women who are just now turning 24.
Oh. Well, what I was going to say before all of that is that we can call him a pedophile all we want, and we are probably correct. But good God, he was good.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about like the cowardly villain. I mean, that's Jerry Lawler.
But he's so good. But again, he gets the thing that he's good at. He is fucking good at, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's great at this angle, and he's a great heel, but he's also a great face. Like if you go to Memphis, oh dear,
Well, yeah. Anytime they went to Memphis in the WWE from like the time that he retired and was doing commentary, there'd always be some match where he beat somebody in Memphis.
Yeah, but
I remember once it was like when Brian Kendrick was getting the Brian Kendrick push and he fucked up because he really liked pot.
I don't think that's fucking up, by the way. I feel like that's
just
That's a pile driver already. Oh, what a lovely shot of his mother.
Oh man, Bret Hart just no-sold the pile driver.
Uh-oh. That's a bit
much. AE-dub.
You want to... Bret should know better. You got to sell a pile driver a little better than
that. I just love that he no-sold a pile driver within like 5 minutes of the match.
Right,
do it again. Boom.
Wait. 2 pile drivers.
Yeah, but this one's on Jerry. Look, Jerry's selling it.
Properly. I love the little feet wiggle. You know what I mean? It's such a.
Look at him.
Is he? Oh, look at this, mommy. Oh, this is weird.
Let me choke you in front of this 13-year-old girl who's pretending to be your mother.
Listen, man, no 13-year-old girls that I knew when I was 13 look like that. That's all I'm saying.
I would hope not.
Yeah, that would have been super weird, huh?
Incredibly weird.
Because then I would have been like, why is Jerry Lawler at my school? He's like, hey, kids, I'm your new teacher. I'm going to teach you some physical education, if you know what I'm talking about.
Mr. Lawler in our gym class keeps insisting on, doing go behind wrist locks. It's.
But he called it a go behind wrist lock, but I didn't see why I had to take my pants off for it.
You know what? When Scott Steiner goes behind for the bump and grind, that's how you know he's a big bad booty daddy.
Oh man, it sounds like you memorized that.
I
Oh,
I love Scott Steiner promos.
did you see that?
People always talk, oh man, whiteface dude's back.
For no reason.
Is Akushi gonna come back too? Now we're leading up to, I think the Bret Hart just got a lot of weird. Ref bump, boom. Hebner's. Wow, look, Hebner got his foot stuck. Well done.
Can I just say, right? I want to make this very clear. I think Earl Hebner is one of the worst referees of all time, right? I know a lot of people disagree with me, but look, that guy gets in the way all the time. He bumbles his way through matches. He's always in the way, even when he's like supposed to be in the way. He's always like out of place.
Here comes Akushi in his do-rag.
Oh wow, look at him go.
He leapt halfway across, like the entire length of that ring.
That was nice.
Hebner's gonna go. He's gonna pass out from the blood flow here soon.
What a damn shame that would be. Then we could get a competent referee down here for once.
You're talking about TNA Hall of Famer, just so you know.
Well, see, by the time he got into like TNA Hall, like even the TNA, there was a point where like when you watch him here in like the 90s, you don't notice him like being in the way a lot, but like at some point after 2000, every old Hebner match, he's just always in the way. He's always just kind of like walking around the ring like an old man who doesn't know where he is. Like he's just terrible. And so once he went to TNA, it just. Can I
tell you what my favorite part of this is? All of this shit's going on in the ring, and Hebner is so busy, like, oh, my ankles hurt so bad, that he didn't just straight up look to his left and see Hakushi in the ring.
That's what I mean. He's the worst referee. Look at that.
There you go, Jerry Lawler, get the win. Some lucky girl's going to Chuck E. Cheese tonight.
Oh, I wonder who it could be. Maybe that girl. Did you see, by the way, right behind her, like this? It felt like a rush of fans were like running towards the.
I did see that. That was weird.
It was kind of like a lot of preschool kids going like, "Hey, Jerry Lawler, Daddy Lawler."
Yeah.
Papa Lawler, he's good. He did a match.
Jerry Lawler read Lolita, but took notes on what to do.
Oh my god. It's his favorite book and/or film. Ooh. Apparently that book's really good. I haven't read it, but apparently people a lot of people who do read it miss the point. Like, oh.
Man, Lawler's such a dick. He just left that guy to die.
Yeah. Well, do you blame him? Look at his hot mom.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a bath with her later, if you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Look at that Bret Hart fan art right there. Boom. Love it.
Let me see. Bret.
Come back to front row.
I see it.
Hard cam. Back to hard cam.
Give me a close up on Bret looking devastated. There we go. This is perfect.
That's what we need to see.
Good lord, we're supposed to look at Bret Hart here, not Earl Hebner. There you go. That's a shot. That's a depressed.
Zoom in. I want to see that terrible fan art.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh, and the underbite of Psycho Sid.
Oh fuck! Here we go. I wonder what he
whispers so you know I'm being serious.
I wonder which god he's praying to. It's probably Buddha.
Yeah, he's actually praying to Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, he's
Aztec.
He's reciting like different Zen mantras to calm him down.
He's reciting mattresses.
This is
So
a
you're just reading the
weird.
tags.
Look at how much face is in this camera. I
Look
don't.
how sweaty he is. Good lord.
This is uncomfortable to watch.
You know
Look.
how Vince would. You know how Vince was like, "Oh, Razor Ramon oozing machismo." Sid Vicious is oozing something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's using cheese.
He's oozing chi.
Like somebody squeezing him and just like.
When you said chi, I thought you said cheese. I'm like, well, I guess
Oh yeah,
so.
I said cheese. I'm
Yeah,
like,
look how serious I am. I'm twitching my
like
face.
melty American cheese is just coming out of his pores, like, bleh, you know?
have some have some cheddar cheese.
Yeah. Oh,
Straight from the
cheddar cheese
source.
is good shit. That's like, what's your favorite kind of cheese?
I'm a fan of a provolone. I like a provolone.
Oh, okay. Interesting. You know, I like mozzarella because it's good on pizza, but it's also a very like it's a mild cheese you can kind of put on anything. Like it's really good in a sandwich, you know.
Oh yeah, provolone has a lot of those same qualities as well.
It's quite fun.
There's a place here where you can add multiple different types of cheeses to your pizza, and that's pretty fun.
That's the best thing. So many cheese.
Look, that mullet, man. Oof, it's amazing.
So they just
Hunter's Creek. What the hell's that?
you know what is going on here?
Is it a golf course? It is a
Oh,
golf.
Hunter's Creek, as in Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Oh, I think you're right. I think this is the one where they give away that house.
Oh my God, is it? Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you can see in the
So that
back.
remember I told you that house looked really empty? It's because it's the house they're giving away.
Oh wow, and it's Hunter's Creek.
It was a covered pool.
Look. You can see the inside. There's fucking nothing there. Wait.
You could at least put some sort of a decor in there.
Yeah. I mean, if you have stuff, then it's perfect. You just put your stuff in that house. Look at those people. Look at the amount of people who wanted to win a free house. Where are they going now? So we gotta fucking bam through this shit while they phone up people. They got fishing. Oh, they got rigs. Um,
So
what?
this is their way of like shuffling the letters.
Wow, and it's so thorough as well. They get into every single one.
So someone needs to talk to HR.
Oh yeah, fuck her into it. Here we go. Have a look. What are you? We just stamping on the letters? What is this? I thought there would be more wrestling in this show. I mean, that was my fault, I suppose.
Yeah. Who's this lady? She's
I,
somebody's secretary.
wait.
She looks like she would want to be anywhere else but on camera right now.
Who are any of these people? I know Todd Pettingill, but like, who won?
Oh man, yeah, they're gonna call somebody. Do you remember when Vince was doing the thing where he was giving away $1 million and he called somebody and he got their ringback tone?
Yeah. You know,
He had to hang up because we can't pay for the rights to this music.
here's the thing, dude. See this angle where they give away a house. This wasn't the one I was thinking of. There was one with Sonny, and they phoned up people and they were trying to give him a house, and it was very strange because you know what it was like phoning people in the 90s. Not easy.
Yeah.
Like, this is. Oh, they got somebody. Did they?
Yeah.
They just hung up again. Wait, are they phoning somebody else? What the fuck? What's going on? I want to see the Battle of the Power Bombs, gosh dang. I want to see Kevin Nash and Sid Vicious sloppily trying to remember that they can't powerbomb each other, so I guess they'll have to powerbomb somebody else. You've seen Kevin Nash powerbombing the Giant, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
It's
amazing. It's amazing anyone didn't die.
right. It's unbelievable. Like, why did they think that was a good spot? You know, I understand, like, you know, Nash is like, I'll show you how strong I am. But also, if you don't know for sure that you can't lift that fucking guy up, maybe don't do it. You know? Are they singing a song on the phone?
Oh, this lady's screaming. She won a house. This is a joke.
Yay! All right.
You know, like if where they are, that property tax is going to be wild.
It's a nice looking house, but with a pool and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that the end of the house? No, still more house. How many houses are they giving away?
Well, I mean, I think that's still the original house. They had to call and get an answer.
Yeah, but they're still talking. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
like I said, I think the property tax on that's going to be really bad. If I was them, I'm going to flip that house.
if I phoned you up and I was like, dude, you want a house? You'd be like, sweet. Probably wouldn't be a whole lot more conversation, would there?
No, I don't think so. I would start asking about it though, like,
Yeah.
what's the, if am I paying a mortgage on this?
And
You
then
know,
I
what's
would
the?
say, sorry, dude, I'm on live television right now. I don't have
I'm
time.
like, no, 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 no. We need to discuss the particulars before I agree to take this house.
You're like, you don't have to agree to it. You already taken it. You want it. It's yours. We are going to deliver it to your other
We're
house.
gonna deliver the house to the
Yeah,
house.
to your regular house. So now
You want this house, but we didn't say you get to live in that neighborhood.
you can put this house on top of your normal house, so it's like a
Double
double house,
double house.
double house. Yeah. Some people will call it like a multi-story.
Look at all the rings that Doc Hendricks is wearing there.
Well, you think that's good, man? You should see how many rings Jerry Lawler has.
You think that's good? You should see how many Confederate flags like P.S. Hayes has hanging up in his house.
Which house? The one he gave away, or
It's the one he gave away. It's just,
wouldn't it be great if they
hey,
actually
you won this house, but you got to keep all of the racist decor.
they give away the wrong house and they give away fucking Michael Hayes' like Confederate house? Like, oh shit! A good house. Is this Ted DiBiase?
It's the house in the neighborhood that all the Klan rallies take place at.
Yeah, and they're like knocking on the door, like, "Is Michael in?" They're like, "No, he moved. This is my house now. I want it on a television show." Like all the Klan members, like, "All right, can you pass it?"
Immediately after I won this house, this big man with an underbite and orange panties came out. So that's how you know it's legitimate.
Mm-hmm. And he's totally psychotic. Apparently,
Yep, he's psychotic.
not like he's not half-assed in his psychoticness. He is totally. 100%.
He does like the face shake that Samoa Joe does when he cuts promos and wants people to know he's being serious.
The face shake.
Yeah, like he like tenses up real tight and is like face his entire like head like twitches.
Okay, I'll have to look out for that next time.
Yeah, just look up like serious Samoa Joe promos. You'll see it.
I'll get right on that.
We'll
Right.
do. We'll pause the video so you can do that.
We're not doing that. We're gonna keep watching the video.
Are you sure?
He's
Are you sure we're about to sit through a Psycho Sid match?
I'm excited.
I just now realized that the Psycho is spelled dumb. SYCHO.
He's just Sid here. They just called him Sid.
They were like, "Hey, the P is silent in Psycho," and he's like, "Well, why do we even need to have it?
Right, get rid of it.
Get rid of it."
We don't need to spell properly. This is pro wrestling. Fuck them.
I love when people try to act like Kevin Nash wasn't over when he was champion. Those people are cheering the fuck out of him.
Right. Look at him. He's a cool dude. Carries his belt with him instead of wearing it like a belt. Because that's what cool people do.
Did you ever see him as Oz?
Yes. Yes, I have seen him as Oz.
I remember him talking about it when Dusty Rhodes is just like, "You're going to be Oz, baby," and he's just like, "What, you mean like the Wizard of Oz? No, you're just Oz." He's like, "Well, I can't be a geographic location."
Well, he did it, though.
And he did it because he was young and needed the booking.
That, like, if you've seen Oz, I don't think you'll ever forget Oz. You know, there's something about that whole getup. You can't forget it. Very strange. With a big beard and everything.
Yeah, the weird like mask and hat and big orange cape or yellow or goose green. What the fuck? I don't know colors.
Oh man. Sid's like, fuck. How am I supposed to compete with Oz?
If only he was still Master Blaster, I feel like I'd have a better chance.
Yeah, I'm just a psycho. I can't compete with Oz like a book. And get the hell out of here. Yeah, Sid's like, can I borrow one of your flags for a rally next week? And Hayes is like, no, god dang it, I need them all. They're in the house. Oh, bitch, I ripped mine. What am I gonna do?
So I was thinking, we need a new flag just for the police officers. It's gonna be black and white American flag, but only one line of it's gonna be blue.
Yeah, that's.
Wait, I hope there's no Republicans listen to this because we shit talk the Confederate flag and now the Blue Lives Matter flag.
Can we just make it clear that like if Republicans are listening to this anyway, it shouldn't matter if we're shit talking the Confederate flag because that shit was in the past. Like it should.
Hey, hold on. I gotta pause for a second. I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back. I'm at an hour 25 and 32 seconds.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
We got these super guys. They're having a tiff, having an argument, having a disagree. Well, that's the fastest I've ever seen Kevin Nash run. Holy hell!
Hitting those elbows.
You ever
There
see?
he is.
There we go.
Bam. You know, Kevin Nash was a college basketball player, so he's got some speed in him.
You never. That's the thing. Like once he got to WCW, he didn't need to whip out the speed. Like they were paying him a shit ton of money.
Oh yeah, I mean people bumped around him, so got that easy schedule. You just get hammered all day.
To be fair, like Nash, like like he would take bumps too. Like when they had to, like if they were protecting Hogan, like Nash and Hall would run in, bumps to protect Hogan. Nash took that every single time, straight like a straight back bump. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He probably didn't have maybe.
It's no wonder he didn't break his legs jumping off of that apron double axe handle.
Right. Look at this. So, oh,
over the top rope. Short arm clothesline. Oh, but Sid didn't go down. Second one. Sid didn't go down. Hitting the ropes. Flying clothesline. Boy, just because you know that like fucking Sid kicked out, not even a one. When you know the double quad injury, it makes any of those moves where he's like in the air and landing a little scarier.
Right. It's very strange to watch it because you're like, oh, be careful.
Yeah, please be careful.
Please be careful.
Did you?
Please.
There was like a backyard wrestling show. This was weeks ago, but this dude was like on the top rope during his introduction, and he jumped off the top rope and broke both of his legs at the same time, and basically his legs just brutal. Who
didn't see that? Oh boy, he took his time falling out of the ring that time.
Whoop.
That I saw that. That was really like.
That made the Sid thing look like nothing.
Right. I mean, the Sid thing, not so cool. That was.
You know what though? I don't give a shit about Sid, so I don't have that same feeling of like hesitation, knowing that in a few years he's gonna break his leg doing a top rope big boot.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't advised, was it?
But, no. What a dumb thing for him to do.
Well, he said that. He said he didn't want to do it, and they told him that he needs to do more high flying moves because that's what the people like. So he's like, okay.
No, I'm not gonna buy that at all. That dude's a notorious liar. I refuse to believe that someone's just like, hey, top rope big boot, go for it.
The thing is, you do see like Sid jumping off and doing like axe handles and stuff. So he has gone on the top rope before, I just wouldn't advise it. Oh. Poor Kevin Nash.
The strength of Sid. It's the blank of thing that always makes me laugh. It's never like Diesel's leg. It's the leg of Diesel. It sounds like a Matt Hardy promo when he became broken.
Isn't he still broken?
He's doing a weird thing where like he is. Remember how we were joking around in the Fantasy Fed, which is called Battle of the Brands, and it's a podcast that we do where we book our own version of WWE. But in it, he basically, it's kind of like your Bray Wyatt, where he like switches between like Fiend and Kid Show host and Swamp Wyatt. Like he just kind of rotates in and out of all of his old gimmicks.
It's nothing like my Bray Wyatt, because my Bray Wyatt's fun.
Yeah.
And mine already.
He did another deletion match last night at the pay-per-view.
I heard this, and this is another reason why I didn't want to watch that show.
Hurricane and Gangrel showed up though. I got excited to see Gangrel. He still wrestles, by the way, and still like has great matches.
Did you watch the show?
I didn't. I just saw GIFs of that because I'm a big fan of the Hurricane. So God bless him. He was like the only cruiserweight they gave any attention to in the early 2000s, and I was like, you know what, holding it down for WCW. I appreciate that.
That's not strictly true.
I mean, who else can you say was a cruiserweight that got some attention in that period of time?
Billy Kidman.
Billy Kidman did get shit in WWE.
Yes,
They put him on the SmackDown brand where he wrestled mainly on Velocity.
I remember watching Billy Kidman and Jamie Noble. Billy Kidman versus Jamie Noble was great.
No, it was on the fucking SmackDown show on UPN, which was a network not many people got. I refuse to acknowledge that.
Whoa, you can't just go making up your own rules here. Those Tajiri was pretty big in that, like, the early 2000s.
Well, here's my thing though. Hurricane was doing matches and segments with Triple H and The Rock and Kane, and Jamie Noble was pissing around with Billy Gunn, and Tajiri was goofing off with William Regal.
But don't do but be smart to William Regal's good name.
Listen, I understand that you're from the UK, so you have to show some semblance of allegiance there, but come on, man. I did love fucking Steven Regal and William Regal though. That guy, it's one of those things that, like, I hated him as a kid because, like, you know, he was a good heel. And then as I got older, I appreciated him for that reason.
Exactly, man. Fucking William Regal.
The best.
One of the most talented wrestlers just ever. He's so good.
I think Moxley got his official retirement match because I think they wrestled, and I don't think he wrestled ever again.
No, I don't think. That was a good match. Oh, you can watch that on the network too. I'm pretty sure that's on.
Can you?
Yeah,
nice.
That.
We should watch some FCW on here and, like, see, like, you know, some of those dudes.
Well, you know what?
In that show that never had any attendance.
I'm pretty sure what's on here is a triple threat match from FCW.
Which was like Rollins versus Ambrose versus Reigns?
Yes.
Nice.
And it is wonderful.
I can imagine. Roman, I've been really enjoying the Roman Reigns heel thing. Man, you can really tell we don't give a shit about this match. we've talked about everything but Psycho Sid versus Diesel. Jesus Christ, we could not fucking care less.
This is a spot in the match where we have free time to talk. I feel like this could happen. This could go on.
We got ourselves a camel clutch.
It's not going to resolve itself for a couple of minutes, I think. His fist is shaking. He's
trying to fight out of it.
And Sid's like, "What the heck? I didn't expect this. No, it can't happen."
Sid Vicious shaking his head so hard his ramen noodle hair swinging.
It does have ramen noodle hair, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It's like Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, their hair isn't. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Doesn't look as delicious as an actual bowl of ramen.
He got some height on that leg drop, didn't he? Jesus.
Right. What do you mean? This guy isn't a high flyer. Send him off the top rope immediately.
Have him land it straight on one leg and see what happens when 265 pounds of weight just lands on one precise area.
I'm no scientist, but I don't think it'll be a problem.
I saw Sid drinking half a gallon of milk earlier today. Those bones are strong.
Yeah, you know. And I saw him drinking some whiskey earlier too. So if he does fuck himself up, he probably won't figure it out.
You're gonna feel it. He was taking some horse tranquilizers in the back.
Right. No, Ashton's probably giving him some somas. You know. Actually, probably like, no, you're not getting my somas.
He probably got him from Scott Hall.
Well, Scott Hall got him from X-Pac, right?
That would not surprise me that X-Pac was a piece of shit back in the day. He seems like a very nice person now, but boy.
Probably, but yeah, he also is like, you know what I love about X-Pac now? He's very kind of like enthusiastic, not in a braggy way, but just kind of like a enthusiastic way about how he talks about how fucked up he used to be. And like,
absolutely.
Because they'll be like, "Oh, you used to be pretty messed up with drugs." Oh yeah, dude, yeah, fucking. Oh god, I used to get drugged all the time. He told this story where he used to roommate with Steve Blackman. So
nice.
Have you heard this story? He was on drugs one day. Steve Blackman came back to the house after being on a tour or something. Steve Blackman came back to the house, and he just found X-Pac like standing up, and he's like, "I've been standing here for 2 days." X-Pac had been standing up, just standing there for like 2 whole days. You're like, how badly do you gotta be fucked up on drugs?
Wait, Sid just jumped and landed straight on his butthole.
Oh, look at that. Here we're making a comeback now. Oh, that has got to be one of the sloppiest fucking
Kevin got no height on that jump up.
He fell backwards. If you ever see a choke slam, that's fucking abysmal. And Nash is selling it, God bless him. He's like, wow, what a bad choke
Did
slam.
he just did Psycho Sid just do the Stations of the Cross?
I don't know. Oh. We're
He
gonna
like blessed him.
Here we go. We're gonna see some sloppy ass. Hey, that's the best powerbomb I've seen Sid hit ever.
Oh fuck.
That was all right for Sid. But look at him.
He almost dropped him flat on his butt. He's celebrating though. He's like, "Fuck yes, I didn't screw that up."
Look at that. Come on, man. Rookie mistake. Why would you do this? You got him right where you want him. Don't be surprised if he kicks out. Is he gonna do the thing? He's like, what the heck?
Can it cut to Ted DiBiase for me? I want to see Ted DiBiase's reaction to this.
Ted DiBiase's like, what the heck?
Would you say that Ted DiBiase was a good manager?
I would say that he is a manager.
I don't want to say he was particularly good, because he did he managed Sid and he managed Tatanka. And classic. He managed IRS.
Yeah.
And he managed he went to WCW and managed Hall and Nash for a while, and then they said, Ted DiBiase in NWO doesn't work. We'll put him with the Steiner brothers.
Well, here's the thing. Boot. Oh.
Let's see another one.
Here we go. Is this it?
It's up and drop. Oh, now see, he landed flat on his ass on that one. He felt that.
Oh, there you go.
It's under the ropes. Oh no, yeah. Here's Tatanka. We mentioned him earlier.
Didn't even do the rope gimmick. They're like, no, fuck him. Ted DiBiase.
No, here's Tatanka.
Now, let me tell you that earlier you were like, who do you think the best manager is? I gotta say, I don't think I would have put Ted DiBiase in there.
No, he wouldn't be top 10. Yeah. He wouldn't even be He wouldn't even be there.
No, you look at the.
I'd put like Johnny Valiant before I'd put him.
You wouldn't. I don't think a lot of people would think of Ted DiBiase as a manager, would they?
No, it was just towards the end of his run there.
Yeah. What are they gonna do now? Another powerbomb?
Oh man, the Ragman on 93Q. Glad to see that radio. I wonder if that radio program is still on.
Here's Bam Bam now. He's pissed off because
didn't he used to get managed by Ted DiBiase?
I have no idea. Like, does Bam Bam need a manager? I don't think so.
Nah, Bam Bam could talk.
I love Bam Bam, man.
Bam Bam was ahead of his time.
Yeah, dude, he was fucking. And there is a guy I could fucking rebook, I think.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm sure at some point we'll probably watch some ECW. I never really cared for the Triple Threat.
Okay.
With Shane Douglas and Chris Candido and Bam Bam.
Yes.
I remember. Do you also remember he had a very short-lived stable in WCW called the New Jersey Triad?
Yes, with DDP.
And it was him, DDP, and Canyon.
Yes. Remember this?
And I think we should ask the question that everybody wants to know the answer to: who better than Canyon?
Oh, I know the answer.
Who?
Turns out an awful lot of people.
Everyone.
Well, I don't know about everyone. I mean, we're watching Psycho Sid versus Kevin.
The innovator of offense, Chris Canyon.
Yeah, I mean, the Canyon's a better. What's it say? Sean's Revenge is Diesel Power. It's classy. See?
Yes.
That's pretty much that show, right?
I think so. I mean, we got on my watch, we've got about 2 more minutes, I imagine, just further Diesel celebration. Yeah. This was a New Japan show. He'd cut a promo in the middle of the ring.
But there'd be streamers and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, no, there's only for top. Well, he's got pyro.
That's close enough.
Yeah,
take it.
And usually only do the confetti if they win like a big belt or like a big tournament.
Nash is over there talking to the referee like, well, thank God I wasn't fighting Mabel.
Good Lord.
Well, that never happened.
He's like, did I just seriously powerbomb Sid Vicious flat on his ass? I feel like his spine didn't appreciate that very much.
Well, what's weird is like Sid just powerbombs Nash, and these are supposed to be big moves, so then that doesn't work. Then Nash gets stripped back up, and then powerbombs Sid, and then there's interference, fair enough. But then
hold up. Why are there aliens?
Oh my God! What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Wait. We gotta see what is this for the next in your house? In your house 2, Alien Invasion. Oh my
In your
goodness,
house
it
too,
is.
anal probing.
This is what it is. Oh my goodness. If this, well, we're gonna have to watch this. Then we're gonna have to watch the next one. It made these aliens very happy. Saving the world.
100 solar cycles. Saving the world.
Is that
The
it?
WF. Is this just a promotional thing for like, hey, we're gonna promote that thing you just watched?
Yeah.
WF's great, isn't it? You just watched the whole thing.
Thank you for that, WWE. We really appreciate that.
So
Yeah.
so now that the show's over, what are your thoughts of In Your House #1?
Uh, well, Bret Hart wrestled twice, so that's
He
good.
did wrestle twice.
That was fun. You know, Jerry Lawler, pedophile or not, that was fun to watch. It was kind of goofy, kind of silly. It wasn't like a 5-star classic across the board, but also wasn't terrible. Like
There are some really good matches there,
there was
and
nothing.
thankfully some short ones.
Yeah, but even the short ones, like there was nothing there that really made you go, "Oh, that sucked ass." Like everything
Yeah.
was pretty competent, you know, not
You know
bad.
what I will tell you was forgettable? Smoking Guns versus Yokozuna and Owen Hart.
Right? You would think that would be way more memorable.
Yeah, you would think it would be better than that.
Well, we spent
What was your favorite match on the card?
I don't know, man, because we spent a lot of time not talking about the matches.
We didn't give a shit talking about that main event.
A lot of those matches, we were just talking about other shit like flags and who
I
may
really enjoy.
not be a pedophile.
Yeah, who may not be a pedophile. I will, and I have some bias here, but I did enjoy Razor Ramon versus Jarrett and Road Dogg. Road Dogg was in particular very funny, just because how shitty he was in certain spots and just the random like I don't know if Road Dogg knows what his gimmick is.
That ended up being quite a highlight, quite a lot of fun, you know. Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. So that was the first episode of this show that we don't have a name for. So let's do a quick recap of things that could potentially be names. I mean, we could have we talked about Michael P.S. Hayes being a racist.
Yes.
We talked about Jerry Lawler being a pedophile.
Yes.
Is there something there that we can work into a name?
How do we connect? How do we connect the Confederate flag and pedophiles together? How do we do this?
I think it's actually a lot more easier than you'd think.
Really?
Connecting a pedophile to the Confederate flag. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them.
Wow.
Fuck you, Republicans.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Given the way that both you and me have been, like on social media and in other videos before this, I highly doubt any Republicans are going to, check out our show. Oh, wow, Dylan and Corey doing a show. They're like so Republican, it's unbelievable. Like I think that people have figured out that.
I think the first time we saw Michael P.S. Hayes and immediately start talking about the Confederate flag, I think whatever that was the point they clicked off.
Yeah, they're gonna figure it out pretty quick.
Uh-oh.
Listen, if anybody's listening to this, and first of all, if you enjoyed the show, we appreciate it. Let us know if you want to see us do more. And also, if you have names for this show, because I don't want to just call it, Watchalong. That's shitty. We can come up with a cool, bombastic name. The
Bombastic Bart.
The
Bombastic Bart Show.
Yeah. We'll figure something out. So if anybody wants to hear more, or if they want to help us name the show, feel free to leave us messages down in the comment section, and make sure to watch along too. I realized that our commentary wasn't very helpful when it came to in-ring performance, but it's a lot of fun.
We had a good time.